YouTube, what's poppin'? It's your boy, the Ninth Hokage, Busy Burns. You know what I mean? Finally here with these top 5 Godzilla movies, well, my top 5. You know what I mean? It's been a little while, you know what I'm saying? But before I get started, you know what I mean? How was y'all Memorial Day weekend? Hope it was good. Mine was straight. Mad food in my belly, you feel me? But yeah, man, it's been a long time coming for this video. I seen my Godzilla videos doing really good. I'm glad to see a lot of people love Godzilla as much as I do. I'm thankful for my father for showing me those movies back in the day. You know what I mean? Getting me into the kaiju thing, you know what I mean? But Godzilla's my guy. So I just thought I would do a quick little top 5 for y'all, you know what I mean? Let you know which ones I think are great, in my opinion. Some of them you might agree with, some of them you might not. It's cool. You know what I mean? Let me know y'all top 5 in the comment section. But let's just get started. I mean, my first one, which is probably a lot of people's first one, is Godzilla 1954. It was released in October 27, 1954. It's the very first Godzilla film to be made. It's classic. I mean, I love that when everything is going wrong in Odo Island and they show up, and then there's that scene when Godzilla first emerges over that mountain. Because before that, we ain't really see him. You kind of just heard it, but when he arrives and you see him over that cliff of that mountain, bro, it's such a scene, bro. It's such a great scene. I love the build up to it. And in 1954, it feels more like a horror movie to me, you know. And I love the way they introduced the characters. Oh, and having to come up with the oxygen destroyer. You know, they gave a little bit of the history of Godzilla, saying, you know, he was basically mutated from all the radiation and was disturbed by the hydrogen testing they've been doing in the waters, you know what I'm saying? But it really feels more like a horror movie, and I love the build up to him. I love how you barely see him, and when you do see him, he just causes so much destruction, you know, like in the symbolism of the nuclear fallout from Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you know what I mean? That movie is a classic. It should be on everybody's #1, but you know, I'm sure it's not. But yeah, man, it's the first film, one of my favorites, and it's classic. #2 for me is Invasion of the Astro Monster, or Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. That was released in Japan in December 1965. It's the second film that features Ghidorah, and it's the 6th installment of the Godzilla franchise. I mean, I loved how they had the 2 astronauts, Fuji and Glenn. You know, Glenn had that bad shorty. What was her name? Namakawa? Namakawa was bad, baby. Let me tell you. Mad they killed her off or whatever, you feel me? But I love this movie. I mean, the first one with Ghidorah was good, you know what I mean? But this one, and I know people, you know, call this the time where Godzilla started to get a little goofy because he had that celebratory dance. And the way he was fighting, but I love it, man. I just love the fight. I love the first fight between him, Ghidorah and Rodan. I love the story of the, first of all, this is one of the best character stories for Godzilla to me. I love that we have the aliens from Planet X and how they interact with the humans, how they trick the humans saying they have a cure for cancer, when really they just trying to take over the world, and how we have the inventor who creates that alarm which ultimately destroys the alien electronics. And I love the characters in this movie, and I also love the fights in this movie. The fights are just a battle royale of kaiju going at it, you know what I mean? I love it. And I love the ending where there's not really a winner. You see Godzilla, Rodan, and Ghidorah tumble off the cliff. You see Ghidorah fly off, and it's hinted that a Godzilla and Rodan must have lived, which is obvious, but I just love that ending. It's not a clear winner. It's kind of like it's up in the air, and it's a great movie, man. Especially like Ghidorah just ravaging through the city with his gravity beams tearing anything up, and just, bro, that is one of my favorite versus movies for Godzilla. Coming in at #3 for me is Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. That was released in Japan on March 21st, 1974. It's the first appearance by the fan favorite Mechagodzilla and the 14th film of the franchise. One thing I love about this movie is when I first saw it, if I remember right, they found cave paintings which reiterate that story, and I love the vision of the red moon, the eclipse, you know, like the mirage, the sun rising in the west. It's just great imagery in this movie. And oh, and it has one of the best songs by the Priestess Azumi. That King Caesar song. Come on, how could you not like this? Yeah, man, I love the fights when Godzilla first runs into Mechagodzilla, and it's just it's like twin Godzillas, and Godzilla gets his ass whooped once you find out it's Mechagodzilla. He got all these weapons and powers. I love that shot of Godzilla getting struck by lightning on Monster Island, or even the shot when he's fighting Mechagodzilla and he turns into a magnet, you know? Or the shot of Godzilla ripping off Mechagodzilla's head, bro. And King Caesar, I like the design of King Caesar. I love that. It's something like a lion, ape-like creature. I also love the ape-like aliens in the film. Again, this is one of the better character movies for a Godzilla film, in my opinion. I don't get bored watching the characters. It's definitely easily in my top 3. Coming in number 4 for me is Shin Godzilla. Released in Tokyo on July 25th, 2016, and the rest of Japan on July 29th, 2016. It's the 31st installment to the franchise. It was inspired by the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster and the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, and how the leaders of Japan handled the situation. Now, mind you, I'm probably butchering all these names and stuff throughout this whole video, but you know, Japanese is not my native tongue, so I'm doing the best I can. Let's just be real. Satomi Ishihara as Kyoko, she was bad, bruh. When I tell you, I wanted to fly out to wherever she was at, get on one knee and pose her and give her the world. That was me. Watching, you feel me? Like, I don't know, I just love that woman. But the first time we see Godzilla, because in this movie he has 3 different forms, but the first time we see him, when he appears in the Kamada district of Tokyo, that first form of him was something disturbing to me and creepy and bothered me. It creeped me out. It was hard to watch. But overall, him throughout this movie, Godzilla, was just back to that old destructive force. And I love the fact that when he came this late waste Tokyo, he had his atomic breath, and he also had his atomic rays coming from his dorsal fins, and they were purple, and then he basically turned into like regular fire, just destroying the city. I love that imagery. I love how they came up with the way to kill Godzilla with the coagulant. I'm saying that right? When they filled it with tankers, and they had to get Godzilla down so they could put it in its mouth, ultimately freezing Godzilla because they found out that his blood and his fans were kind of like a cooling system for his body. I really enjoyed Shin Godzilla, especially when, you know, at first you got to get used to how the movie is, because you don't really see a lot of Godzilla's movies. It's another great character movie for Godzilla film. Like, you focus so much on the Japan's defense, you know, defense corps, I want to call them, and how they're handling it. And it's really hokey and goofy at times, but it works so well for the film, you know what I mean? And I like some of the remakes for the classic Godzilla things playing out throughout the film. It's just really a great film, and if you haven't seen Shin Godzilla by now, you really need to. It deserves to be in the top 5 in my opinion on any list, but I digress. Finishing the list is Godzilla 1984. It was released December 15th, 1984, and it's the 16th film in the franchise. And this is where the Heisei era starts, right? It was the end of the show era, and the Heisei era starts. And it was the return of Godzilla no longer being this kid-friendly Marvel Avenger, DC Justice League character. You know what I mean? He was more just going back to its roots and being a destructive force. You know what I mean? A force of nature. And I love this film because I love like how in the earlier parts of the film, you see how these organisms have been leeching off of Godzilla, leeching off the radiation, you know, evolving themselves, you know what I mean? And in the first time you see Godzilla, he just looks meaner, bigger, and stronger, and he's just tearing these things apart. And like I said, I love how he's portrayed throughout this whole film, and the love and compassion this movie shows for the kaiju. And I mean, one of the saddest parts of that movie to me is when Godzilla not dies, but when they lead him to the volcano and have him fall into that volcano. That is a sad scene if you're a Godzilla fan, man. It works so well because the way the movie is done, man. Like, the movie is done is like he's just reading, but as a fan of Godzilla, you're like, you want him to win. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. You want him to win over the character. And to me, easily top 5 of any Godzilla film. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's my top 5. I mean, it was hard for me to kind of narrow it down after it got to like 4 or 5. Like right there, it was kind of hard for me because I was thinking about putting like, you know, Godzilla vs. Mothra, because that's one of my favorites. Godzilla vs. King Kong was pretty good. I was thinking about those. I was thinking about Godzilla vs. Biollante. But ultimately, this is my top 5, and I think I have a great list. I want to know what y'all list look like, though. So make sure y'all get in those comments, you know what I mean? Let me know your top 5. But yeah, man, it's your boy, Busy Burns, the Ninth Hokage, signing out. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.